Hi, period 2. Welcome to flipped lesson number 2, unit rates. You guys are just flying along, doing a great job with our new flipped classroom. I'm really proud of you. So we talked about ratios in the first unit, and a ratio is a comparison of two quantities by division. Now we need to talk about what a unit rate is, okay? First, I noticed something on this lesson that I was kind of confused about when I first looked at it. It's missing one thing. We go right into talking about unit rates and we don't have the definition of an actual rate. So I want you to add this, okay? A rate is a ratio that compares two quantities with different kinds of units. Remember, ratios were the same units. These are different units. That's what a rate is. Okay, now you might be saying, okay, that's neat, but what is a unit rate? A unit rate is a rate with a denominator of 1. Of 1. That's all that a unit rate is, and we're going to get into some examples of that. Okay, I'm going to give you some examples down here of common unit rates that are very common. We use them all the time. Okay, and the rate that one really common rate that you probably hear your parents talk about, anyone really, is the number of miles per hour. I use this all the time to track how fast I'm running or how fast I'm biking. I want to know how many miles per hour I'm going. Okay, so our rate is the number of miles to 1 hour. Okay, that's our rate. Our unit rate is called miles per hour. These are common unit rates. Our abbreviation is MPH, or miles per hour, and that is called our average speed. Another common rate or unit rate is miles per gallon. You hear about this all the time too when you're talking about price of gas. Number of miles to 1 gallon. It's important that your car get a good miles per gallon because then you don't have to spend as much on your gas. Okay, so our unit rate is miles per gallon. And our abbreviation for that is MPG. When you go later in life and you go to buy a car, you're going to be looking for a car that has a high MPG rating, or miles per gallon. And that's our gas mileage. Okay, another very common unit rate is the number of dollars. The number of dollars per pound for 1 pound. Okay, that's called our price per pound. Okay, obviously this is important when you're going grocery shopping or comparing prices. Okay, I'm trying to erase this and it's not erasing. Let's see here why it's not erasing. Guess I'm going to set a bigger eraser. Oh well, not going to erase. Sorry about that. Okay, so our price per pound is called, the actual rate itself is called dollars per pound. Dollars per pound. Okay, and that's called a unit price. That's what the actual rate is called, or unit rate is called, unit price. The next one, the last one that I'm going to give you today, is the number of dollars. This will be really important one day to you. The number of dollars that you can earn per hour. This could actually be important now if you're starting to babysit or something. You want to know how much that you make per hour. So this is our actual unit rate is dollars per hour, and we call this dollars per hour. And our actual, what we actually call that is a hourly wage. Have you ever heard of the minimum wage? That's the dollars per hour that you make at minimum wage, or what most early jobs start with. Okay? All right, nice work so far. Okay, let's go to the next page. As soon as you're ready, obviously you know to pause this whenever you need to. I was moving your paper all the way around. Okay, when do you use unit rate? You mostly use unit rate when you are trying to find out if one deal is better than another. So let's say, for example, you know I like candy, and so I'm going to use Snickers as an example. What if I have one deal says 2 Snickers for $4? Okay, so let's circle that. Oh, that didn't work. I'll just put a little star there. I'm going to use an arrow instead. You guys are probably like, what is she doing? Okay, I'll put a star here. Okay, 2 Snickers bars for $4. And what if I had another one, 5 Snickers bar for $5? Which is the better deal? All right, we got to figure that out. The way you figure that out is using unit rate. So first we set up a ratio. Our ratio is 2 bars for $4. Okay, that is our ratio. Okay, we need to make a unit rate here, so we want to set that up to be 1 bar. We'll simplify it to a simplified 1 bar for every $2. Okay. The other way we could set this up if we wanted to get an actual unit rate is to say $4. We'll set up dollars for bars, and then we want to get that denominator to 1. In order to get the denominator to 1, we have to divide both the numerator and the denominator by a number that will make that 1. So we obviously need to divide by 2, and that leaves us with $2 for 1 bar. So our unit rate is $2 for 1 bar. Okay, now we want to find out if this other deal is better. So this is our unit rate. I'm going to circle that. Okay, now let's go over here and we got 5 Snickers bars for $5. So we want to compare this the same way we did before. I'm going to go ahead and use the way that I did on the bottom, because that's a better way to get a unit rate, is to have the dollars to bars, because then we can get a denominator of 1 more easily. So let's go ahead and set up our ratio over here, and we have $5 for 5 bars. Okay, we need to simplify that and get a denominator of 1, so we're going to divide both by 1 to make that denominator equal to 1. We end up with $1 per bar. So, which is the better deal? Hopefully, you have decided that deal number 2 is the better deal. And let's give that 2 or 3 stars. How about? Let's make it, if I can figure out how to do the stars. Let's give it a 3-star deal. Or how about a 5-star deal? Because we'll make it a 5-star deal because there are 5 Snickers bars. Okay, 5 stars for that one. That's awesome. Okay, so that's pretty much it to unit rates. The only thing I think that you probably want to get a little bit better at is practicing is just how to get unit rates. So I'm going to give you just a couple of problems. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. And let's see if I can add a page in this particular app. I'm not sure if I can, but I'm hoping I can. Let's see here. Okay, I want to go ahead and give you another example on this new page. So let's go, let's find a unit rate if it costs $2 for 8 juice boxes. What is the unit rate? Okay. So if we have $2 for 8 juice boxes, we need to write a ratio. Let's do $2 for 8 boxes, and then we need to find the unit rate. In order to do that, we need to have a denominator of 1. We need to ask ourselves, what are we going to divide by to get a denominator of 1? Hopefully you know by now that we need to divide by the denominator. Whatever the denominator is, we divide by. So 8 divided by 8 equals 1. $2 divided by 8 is going to equal, it's the same thing as 1/4, it's going to equal 0.25. Okay, so it's going to cost 25 cents per juice box. Actually, I want to change that sign, make that a dollar sign. Okay, that's 25 cents per juice box. Okay, so whenever you are trying to find a unit rate, you want to divide by the denominator. When will this be used? Quite often, actually. Let's say, for example, let's add another page here, and let's say that we want to some prices. Okay, so let's say that there are 3 different kinds of dog food, okay? And we have, let's say, I'm going to make a little table here. Okay, we have the bag size of the food, and it's in pounds, LBS, don't tell Mrs. Johnson, and our price. Okay, our bag size is 40-pound bag, costs $49. A 20-pound bag costs $23.44. And lastly, an 8-pound bag costs $9.98. The question is, which is the better deal? Better deal, which one? Okay, we need to ask ourselves that. In order to do that, we need to find the unit rate for each one. So I'm going to write here, unit rate. Sorry, my phone is vibrating in the background. Unit rate is what we want to know. So we need to set up ratios, okay? And we're going to have $49 to 40 pounds. We're going to have $23.44. You always want to have your compare the same units. So if you're going to have dollars on top, have dollars on top for all of them. And then we have, we have $9.98 for an 8-pound bag. Okay, so we need to get denominators of 1 on all of these. Okay, in order to do that, we have to divide by the denominator. So the first one we're going to divide by 40. This one we're going to divide by 20. And this one we're going to divide by 8. And our answers will come up to be, and if we round them, the first one comes out to be, I'm going to write in a different color so it's obvious for you. With our calculator, it comes out to be 1.225. The second one comes out to be 1.172. And the third one comes out to be 1.235. So our better deal, the cheapest one per ounce, or per pound, sorry, is this one. Okay, so our answer would be, okay, B, or the 20-pound bag. That's our better deal. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, I want to do just one more type of problem with you, and that's just showing you how you would use this. Okay, so let's do a problem, one more problem. This time we have a face painter, and she paints 3 faces in 12 minutes. Okay, that's how good she is. How many faces can she do in 40 minutes? How many faces in 40 minutes? That's our question. How do we solve that? Well, we need to get a unit rate. So first we're going to do 3 faces to 12 minutes. We're going to divide by 12, that's the denominator, to get our unit rate, which will be 1 minute. In each minute, she's going to paint 25 or 0.25 faces. Now that seems weird, right? She's going to paint 1/4 of a face. Well, that's kind of a weird unit rate, but that's the truth. Now, the question was, how many in 40? 40 minutes. Now, how do you think you'd solve that? Okay, well, my guess would be that you need to multiply 0.25 times 40. Okay, if she does 0.25 faces in 1 minute, we need to do 40 times 0.25. Okay, we can multiply that out. And we're going to get 10. Okay, that's kind of messy there. But she would do 10 faces in 40 minutes. Okay, hopefully you can kind of see my writing there. It's a little messy. 10 faces in 40 minutes. So that's an example of how you would use unit rate. Is you find the unit rate and then you use it to make a calculation. All right, that's all for this lesson. Hope you got most of that. Rewind as you need and take good notes. Thanks.